we're gonna do is we're actually gonna mount everything in this nice little clip.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna 3D print these clips that, you know, go all the way down, and they hold all of it, so all this stuff will get
nice.
tucked underneath,
Yeah.
and you won't see any sloppy riding. This will be all, the loom will pull it down a little closer and make it clean.
Looks great.
But yeah, it's
Right
nice.
now it looks great.
Well, I wanted to show the tech on this car.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, especially this EV stuff, they hide everything.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Revolt Garage. We've got an update for you on the Mustang. We got Sam here from AEM, and we got the Wheeling Welshman. Unfortunately, Snow's not here today. He's over at Legacy EV doing some training, but hey, this segment's about the AEM controls, what we did for the updates, and everything that went into this Mustang for the last couple of weeks. So hey, like us, subscribe to our channel, and let's check it out. What have you been up to?
We've been busy. We've been wiring up a lot of computer stuff for this car. So we got 4 CAN networks run, 1 other computer network run, and it all works so far. Let's take a look.
Only had what, one tech, two tech support
Yeah, like
calls?
one or two
One and a
technical
half.
calls. Not, yeah, 1.5. Not too bad.
Most of the headline stuff's in the back here. We've gone from our plywood board to an aluminium board, and so far,
What is it?
aluminium.
See, aluminum's like what's in a can. Aluminium's what's in race cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Sen did a great job on this for us. You can get it tapped with all the holes like already in it.
That made it.
They have aluminium and they have aluminum. You can take your pick. So we're gonna have some clips up here. Get all this, you know, actually tied up real nice. Everything runs. Everything pretty much fired up first time. So we're pretty impressed with that system so far.
I did screw up our CAN cables. When I was on the phone with you, there was a mirror image. And CAN 2 and 7, I think, were high and low.
Oh.
And your diagram was like this. I'm like, oh, oops. So yeah, there's
Pay
those kind of
attention
flubs.
to which side of the connector your diagram is looking
That's
from.
why I'm not allowed to wire. So we ran, more than 300 new wires through this car, full computer systems. Sam's here to help out also with some of the programming. He helped me kind of online with the stuff tuning. Logged into my computer, and we were doing a couple of setup items to get this to kind of all talk to each other.
make sure
Do you want to go through what we got back here?
Yeah.
And I mean, just from A to Z with all the components.
Yeah. So we'll just go and cover some of the things here. Right here, you can see it. That's the AEM EV VC200. That is the adult in the room, and that speaks with all of the different subsystems in the EV. So we're talking battery system, cooling system, the charge system, the actual motor itself. So that is the brains of it all. That's taking all the driver inputs and making decisions to do whatever you want it to do. And that's what we're going to be programming when we're all done. The battery management system, so this is the AEM BMS 18. It is a distributed battery management system because we don't expect all the batteries to be, in a retrofit like this, we don't expect the batteries to be in one place, unlike a OEM EV where the battery's in the floor. We have, a couple modules in the trunk, 3 modules in the trunk, we've got a couple modules up front. So this allows you to have the BMS system as close to the modules because remember, you can't turn a battery off. They're always live, they're always running, they're always putting out energy, there's always potential for something to go wrong. So if you can limit the length of wire run you have throughout the car that's live wire, the safer things can be. So our BMS offers that, lets you get close to the modules, and they're sealed, environmentally protected, so you don't have to worry about any water getting inside and doing something weird. Because again, we're dealing with live voltages.
Well, kind of go off of what you were just saying with the battery packs. This particular vehicle is balanced 50-50. And the reason we did that is we didn't want all our weight in the back or in the front. And it's really nice to have a satellite module that we can put really close to the battery so we're not running these large, long lines like 17, 18, actually 20, 30 feet. Who knows? Because I could have a battery module way up there, but a brain's back here, and all of a sudden now I'm running 300-400 volts through a little tiny cable all the way through the car.
And another thing that people don't talk about is the resistance of that cable, because we're measuring voltages down to the millivolt, right?
Millivolt, yeah.
And a little bit of resistance to that cable, and that 17 feet, 17 inches or whatever long you got to run. Now our cell measurements aren't accurate.
Correct.
And I'm a firm believer in garbage data in equals garbage results out.
Yep.
So if we can get good, clean, solid data, we can execute, correctly.
Yeah.
Next part, the CCU, which stands for combined charging unit. So in an EV, we got to worry about how do I charge my battery, right? We got AC power off grid, we have DC power in a battery. the CCU does that. When you plug in, that CCU takes in the AC power from your wall, converts it to DC, steps it up to 400 volts, that feeds the battery. So that's one part of its job. The second part, why it's a combined charging unit, your EV still has a 12-volt battery, just like your regular internal combustion car. This runs your radio, your lights, all this, 400-volt headlight would be fun, right? You'd see into the future. I'd see into the future with a 400-volt headlight. So you still have a 12-volt battery in the car, and the job of the CCU is also to take 400 volts from the high voltage battery and step it down to 12, 14 volts, or whatever it is, to keep your 12-volt battery charged. Because in an EV, we don't have a spinning thing, your engine, to spin an alternator that's generating power to charge a 12-volt battery. So we have to find a way to do it, and that comes from the high voltage battery through the CCU.
We don't need 400 cranking amps either.
Nope.
We need like 4.
You can put a 9-volt battery in there and it'll work.
Exactly.
But yeah, it doesn't take a lot of power.
So yeah, there's a lot of different components in this car. So what we just looked at is basically the brains, some of the BMSs, the CCU, and the 12-volt system. We're gonna work our way to the front of the car and kind of show you guys what's in the dash and what's in the middle of it. So let's take a look.
So, what, should I just hop in here? Or
Hop in there.
All right, cool. Nice.
Get comfy.
I'm getting too old for doing this.
And then go ahead and turn the key on so we could get the whole, there we go.
All the on or just
Yep.
oh, okay, cool.
There you
Awesome.
go.
That's an awesome looking splash screen.
Yep, and then look, we even are
Oh, dude, that looks sweet.
playing around with a couple different.
That looks good. Not a lot of people like really run with the dash. It's got a lot of capabilities. Not a lot of people run with it. I like that you guys are just going ham with it. As you can see, there's a PDU in here, so that serves the function of all your 12-volt switching on and off. So instead of having a bank of relays and fuses and things, this handles eight different circuits. It can switch on and off 8 different circuits. Also supports PWM. But unlike a fuse box, this reports how much current it's actually supplying to each circuit, as well as smart fault detection. So if it'll detect if it's an open circuit, short circuit, and protect itself, you can set current limits, reset times. So if a circuit faults out, you can tell it to just wait 3 seconds or whatever it is, and then retry it. If it doesn't work, okay, retry again. If it doesn't work again, then just stop. So there's a lot of things you can do with the PDU with switching things on and off instead of digging around through fuses trying to find out which fuse popped. This, you could look at your data, it'll say, okay, channel 6 turned off. You could figure out why. Next thing you see here, this is the AEM 8-button keypad. So this talks to the VCU over CAN and lets you select between which drive mode you're going in. The ignition key selected between different performance modes. So with the VCU, you can have a map for just driving around town, really high efficient, not super fast acceleration. You can have another map for, limp home mode, or I don't know, whatever you want to do with that one. And you can have a map that's just crazy, balls to the wall, go out and have fun, roast tires. But yeah, so it allows you to select the different modes. Cool thing, one of the cool things I like about EVs is you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have a wild 1,000 horsepower car that you could still just cruise through the parking lot at 5 miles an hour, dead silent.
Yep.
Like, if you've ever driven a car, like a car that level of power, the internal combustion, the clutch is hard to drive with. It doesn't want to idle. You're just feathering the throttle all day. Usually, they just don't work that well as a normal daily driver. But this, you can still drive it as just a Sunday cruiser, or you can go out and just shred tire.
Well, my wife too. I mean, you couldn't get her in something that's all cammed out and popping and loud. But in this, she actually feels like she could drive it.
Yeah.
She's like, look, it's not as intimidating as a gas car or something that's, straight headers. She doesn't want, even my kids.
Yeah.
As much as they love race cars, you take them to the racetrack and someone starts up a nitro motor straight on headers.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, Daddy, my ears hurt. It's cool, but can we stand over there?
Yeah,
so it's a lot more approachable. Like yesterday, I took one of my kids for a drive last night in this car, and we're testing out a new prototype reduction box in it. And we got in the car, crept out of here real quietly, got it down the road. I got in it. My kid's like, did we just do a wheelie? He got stuck so far back in his chair that he was like, and he's a roller coaster freak.
I got a chubby right now because this is one of the most awesome experiences of my life because I'm getting to drive a race car.
So once again, it's approachable. He likes it. He likes the scream of the gears. But then again, you could go back into silent mode and kind of creep around and have a really good time.
Yeah.
Talk.
It's everything all in one. It's awesome. I love that you can just do everything you want with it all in one car. The AEM dash here.
And sorry about the crappy display there. We haven't put all the carbon fiber back in. We're still
It's still work in progress.
work in progress here.
Still work in progress, but you can see the guys here at Revolt did a really awesome looking screen there. And this offers 4 different pages, so you can cycle between different pages and see, have different bits of information on there. But looks like only one's done so far. But awesome, awesome, looks good. No, I know the amount of work that goes into that. And it looks great. So yeah, we can visualize everything that's going on inside the system. This will give us all the information off CAN bus. We can display it. We can even send messages, receive messages, whatever we want to do with it. This is very flexible. It's a very powerful tool in an EV. And if you know what you're doing with it, the world, the sky's the limit what you can do with that thing. But yeah, I think that covers most of the different components in here. I think there's another BMS satellite somewhere in this compartment.
There's actually two. There's one behind each seat that run the batteries that are actually underneath the seat behind you.
Because we've got another battery module back here, and it looks like another battery module underneath the seat here, right?
There's 2 underneath you.
Wow.
And 2 underneath the other side.
Wow, you stuff batteries everywhere. In this thing.
Yep.
Well, when you have so much space on a 65 Mustang, you start utilizing every little bit. Unfortunately, I'm really tall, so we had a nicer set of seats in here.
Yeah.
But me with a helmet, I hit the thing, so we had to bring it down and put Kirkies in it, which are great seats, but you're not gonna be going for a 500-mile cruise.
No, not the most comfortable seat, but no, keeps you in place.
Speaking of tuning and everything else, I did want to talk about your guys' LDU driver board.
Okay, yeah.
So let's take a look at that.
Shut this off.
Looked that way and called you out on it. So this is the next step for the Mustang. So now, since we got basically everything mostly done inside of it, we have the brand new AEM basically infrastructure in there.
Yep.
So that means battery management systems, vehicle control units, charging systems. That's all done.
Yep.
This car runs. I said, just drove it yesterday with my kid. We took it around the block a couple times. Man, it is fun. One thing now we want to do is get into the actual tuning of these motors like we talked about earlier. The only person that I know is really that's offering this is, there are some, not off the shelf I should say, kind of hack stuff, things you put together like the Zero EV boards, which are fine, but you guys took it a step way into the future with Cascadia and designing a control board that now we could use the AEM software to fully map and torque and do all the different stuff.
Yep. So yeah, what we've done is we've designed this board that allows you to go into a Tesla inverter. This is one you can see here, kind of removed from the entire system. That's the control board right there. Simple, this thing comes apart. You've got 6 screws, a couple connectors, simple, quick release, pull it, clips out. Those 6 screws come out, that board goes in, connectors goes back on, right back in the car. What this does is unmarries this from Elon Musk. He doesn't know this thing exists anymore. This goes in, and this listens to exactly what we say. We say, jump 10 feet, it's gonna jump 10 feet.
Blow your motor up, blow your motor up.
Light it on fire, it's gonna light it on fire. So.
And that's something we really can't do up until this point. And there's only so much, there's a couple of controls that I could play with the old style board, because basically what we're doing is CAN spoofing. So we've already kind of been pigeonholed into what Tesla's given us. So we can't really go outside their parameters. Yeah, we can crank up the power a little bit, but there's only a threshold.
Yeah, you can build the better batteries that doesn't sag, get more
Exactly.
power, and things like that. But
You can't really hot rod it like you guys used to.
Yeah, the torque rate's going to do whatever it wants. It's going to drive like a Tesla, but all you can do is give it a better battery, and you can maintain power better with a better battery with the factory Tesla board in there.
This takes all that away.
Oh, it just takes your handcuffs off.
Yep.
And says run. You can run into a wall, or you can run into a field, whatever way you want to do.
So that's the next step with the Mustang. We can't wait to get that in probably here in the next couple of weeks and actually get on a dyno. So we're going to dyno the car before we do that, and we're going to dyno the car after we do this. So we have some real numbers of torque curves and everything else, so we can compare it to the old system. We have really good friends over at Magnaflow up the street, and I know like exhaust people, they have anything to do with us. They're just really cool neighbors. They've let us kind of go in there and take a tour. They got a couple of really nice dynos in there.
What a facility.
Oh, great facility. We can't wait to get the car in there. We're going to dyno it before and after, like I said, and we're going to see what this thing does. So that basically wraps up what we've done here with the AEM system, the big upgrade. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but that poor guy over there had to run over 300 new sets of wires to the
I
vehicle.
was getting my yoga in.
Yeah.
All the nooks and crannies. Yeah.
Oh, I'd come in here a couple times. He's twisted up in a cage. I'm like, what do you need? He's like, that crimper that just fell out of the car and I can't get myself out. So it's a tremendous amount of work. Anybody that's ever worked on one of these systems knows that, yeah, the motor's a lot less going on, it's a lot simpler, but now we have all this battery management to deal with. So we don't have fuel injectors and all this other stuff, but we have a lot of other things that we need to take into place. So, hey, like, subscribe to our channel. Really glad to have Sam here with us.
Thank you,
Thank you
Sam.
so much for coming up.
Happy to be
We're
here.
gonna get into the programming here right after this. We'll shoot a segment on that too, on kind of how this all ties together. Hey, can't wait to see you guys at the racetrack. Take care.